let's bring in our next guest, Solar Negotiators. What's going on?
How are you?
How are you? Solar Negotiators, one of the big sponsors of the Central Valley Buzz, and I want to thank you for that. Happy New Year's to you guys down there. How's Chris Moran?
He's doing excellent.
I thought he was coming today. I was going to have him sing me a song.
Well, you know what? Now that you brought that up, we're actually sponsoring a basketball game in March. Air Force against Fresno. He's going to be singing the national anthem. So hopefully you can make it.
Is that the only song he knows?
No. No. He knows many songs. He's actually done that in his past experience.
When you sing on the Buzz, and I've had people do it before, I pick the song.
Okay.
They sing it.
Okay.
See where I'm going?
I think you should bring him on for that. First of all, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you since last year.
Thank you for taking
over. You look
great. I think you look swell yourself. Now, the Solar Negotiators, you guys do things just a little bit differently. I'm totally into the solar scene. I'm looking into it, and I know that when I go, I'm going with you guys. I had a guy come up to my door last week.
Okay.
He knocks on the door and says, "Hey," and first of all, the first thing he does that really tweaked me was he tries to name drop. You know, so-and-so down the street got my solar. So he said that you would want, and I'm like, I haven't talked to the guy in like 5 years, you know? So, and then I said, no, I'm working with Solar Negotiators.
Okay.
Right? Nothing wrong, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what he says? He tries to badmouth you guys immediately. And I don't care if I don't know you guys, but I don't do business with somebody that immediately out of the gate starts bad-mouthing their competition. Sure. I think, tell me how good you are, don't tell me how bad anybody else is. And some of the things, some of the directions that he was going were I knew not to be true. So just know that I'm out there for you.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yeah. We never pressure anybody. We actually don't have any investors, so we look at what they're using as far as their electricity and give them the best option for them. And whether they're going to do it now or later, we let them decide.
And the numbers stay the same.
The numbers stay the same. We actually love all of our competitors. So we're not going to bash anybody.
Well, because you're using them, because you don't really have competitors. What you do is you guys go out and negotiate with the other solar companies, ones that you've already checked out to know that they're not fly-by-night companies, right? And they're going to have downtime. They're going to have days when they don't have orders working, right? So you guys go to them and you go, we have an order. This is what we have told them it was going to cost. Can you do it for that? If they say yes, your customer gets the Solar Negotiator price.
They get all the savings. We don't have a middleman fee. We have a network of contractors, and we'd love to have all of them in our network. So you hit it on the nose there.
Okay. Now, because you guys are doing it the way you're doing it, what type of savings are we looking at?
The last quote I gave a homeowner, I was saving them over $5,000 compared to their next quote. So it could be in the thousands. It's not going to be like that all the time, but those are the savings that we're relaying to homeowners, and all it takes is one phone call. A lot of companies don't give them information on the phone, but we're glad to do that, and all it takes is one phone call. So if you have a quote, if you're searching around for other companies, give us a call. It takes about 5 minutes to go over it, and at least you know you're getting into something that's going to be worth it. Are you telling me
someone could call you up and get a quote right now?
Right now, they can call 855-OWN-SOLAR and get a quote over the phone.
How do you get a phone number with the extra letter? Isn't that an extra letter?
It really doesn't punch in when you dial it in. So, I mean, when we
dial OWN SOLAR.
Well, when we found that OWN SOLAR was available, it just goes with our business model. We want homeowners to own the solar. We want them to take advantage of the incentives. We don't want somebody else to take the 30% that's available to them. I mean, 30% is a lot of money.
You're talking 30%. You're talking about your tax write-off?
Yes, they have a tax credit. It's actually better than a tax write-off. It's a full blown-out tax
credit.
Tell me
how it works.
So let's say your system costs $30,000. Okay, you're going to have available to you as a homeowner in California 30% of that, which is around $10,000, to come back to you when you do your taxes the next year. It's
all
federal.
At once?
If you don't get it all at once, it rolls over to the next year. Okay, And we've never pressured anybody, but there's literally only 2 more chances to get the 30% tax credit. So if you get solar now, next year you'll have the chance to get the 30%. If you don't get it all, you have 1 more opportunity to get it all. It rolls over for 1 more year.
$30,000 unit. Is that a
Well, that's
ballpark? I mean, is that what they're costing?
I would say average is around $20,000 to $30,000. But you're talking about a return on your investment for 25 years, Chuck.
Right.
So you don't have to deal with PG&E's
a car costs more
rates.
than that these days,
absolutely.
Right? So speaking of the car costs more than that, what about warranties on this stuff? What if it breaks?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big investment. What if it breaks?
It's really not hard to maintain because there's no movable parts. We have products that have 25-year guaranteed production on the panels, and you have inverters that are out there that have a 25-year manufacturer warranty. So the protection is there, and you can avoid the rate increases from PG&E and the utilities. And you know they're coming. They've been rising 6% for the last 30 years.
You know, it's just mind-boggling to me that somehow along the line that the government didn't go to PG&E and tell them, hey, you need to start switching over everyone to solar.
Yeah.
It's like the greed. It's just so right. It's right there, and everyone would have been happy.
You know what? We love to work with PG&E as well. You know, some people were a little skeptical, but the technology is there now. And you know, even if you get solar today, you're still tied into the grid with PG&E. So there are partners in this.
When do you get to go off the grid? When do you get to say later, PG&E? I'm on my own.
Yeah. Well, battery backup is not at the level of the actual solar panels and being tied into the grid PG&E because it's really a tight grid that they've established and they've worked on it for many years. The battery technology is not there yet, but there are off-grid systems that you could buy if you're in the mountains or, you know, there's a lot of northern parts and coarse gold in those areas. Some people have battery backup systems. Some inverters that we use have a small time where you can actually plug something in if the power goes out. So they're working on that technology, but right now we're tied into the grid. And
will the stuff people are getting now, will it be able to tie into the batteries when it comes out?
In the future, it can. If they want to just say, you know what, PG&E, I'm sick of you, and I want to just get my own electricity.
What about selling it back to them and PG&E buying your electricity
right.
from you?
Well, we have a great, it's called a net metering agreement with the utility. So whatever your system is producing, it gets credited to your account. Let's say you take a trip and solar's producing, it gets credited to your account. At the end of the year, you pay PG&E for what you used, and then you get credited the amounts that went to your account.
Wow.
Yeah. So
kind of fun.
It is a great system. Yeah.
All right. So people that are looking into it, they call 1-800-OWN-SOLAR.
It's 855
855 own solar.
Or they could go to our website. It's solarnegotiators.com. They can fill out a quick, put their name and address and their phone number. We can call them, or they could call us, and it literally takes 5 minutes to know that you're getting the best deal possible.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having us, Chuck. All right, happy New Year.
I know you're in a hurry to leave, but I'm going to make you stay. Because coming up in the next segment, we have John and Bill Clifton from the Mofo Party Band. Stick around, play ball.